What's going on? Move the Mouse here, back in City Skylines, Portsmouth, Season 7, Episode 32, I think. Forgive me if I lose track at this point. We were working on this little industrial island, which is almost totally built up at this point. I'm trying to think, I might have dropped some trees around the outside of the outside edges, and maybe we'll fill this in a little bit here and there, but this is more of a built-up area. So we expect to see a few less trees out here. What I wanted to do today was start working on Kittery, which technically anything... Sorry about the chimes in the background there. Technically anything north of the river here is Maine. And this isn't hooked in at all to the highway. This really isn't built up at all. There's nothing over here. I did do a little road showing how to use the terrain tool to kind of follow, and maybe we'll do some more road network here and do more of the same. So if we highlight the terrain tool after bringing up the road selection, we can actually see kind of where the little plateaus are, where different elevation changes are, and we can kind of use that to our advantage to make a more realistic road. So over here we kind of built a road around where this plateau would be. The other thing we can do is kind of come down the middle of areas. So over here, freeform, we could kind of follow in the middle of this area over here, and that should minimize kind of any drastic elevation changes that we get. If we do something like that, the road itself will look relatively flat and it won't be too lumpy. I really wish we could do that on consoles, but unfortunately we cannot, because as soon as you click on roads, it gets rid of that view, and then you can't click on this because then you remove the road tool. So let's get a network of roads in here. We've got kind of this one main drag that's going to feed traffic all the way out down that area, and we could utilize some of that same approach over here. So I'm going to have another road that comes out maybe this way, and we'll come out around this little lump. Maybe we'll do something like that to come all the way down to the coast. And then it would be nice if we kind of got this connected. Now this is going to be a little lumpy here because of this, right? This raise in the terrain. But we're just going to make some small neighborhoods for over here that kind of sit alongside of this. And hopefully by moving some people in there, one, we've got a huge amount of residential demand. Hopefully that will help some of the abandonment that's happening over here, but some of it is more resource related rather than employment related. So let's come out somewhere in the middle here, fill in some of these streets, get some of them connected across. And just kind of have some fun with it. Again, it doesn't have to be super built up over here. So we'll do that. Maybe we even bring some stuff over here. But I think this would be okay to fill in with some trees. We'll have kind of a big commercial strip that runs parallel to the highway. And then there'll be another one sort of up this way once we figure out where that next exit goes. But let's get this connected to that intersection. Then we'll bring a couple more through here. Maybe just one more through there. And maybe this can kind of fork off two different ways. We'll come down here to the edge of the coast and bring it back out. Now in this case, I'm going to leave this network of roads kind of isolated off on its own. But maybe we could do something like that. Just kind of filling in and having some fun. Let's look at what that looks like. So see how this is lumpier now? Because we didn't follow the contours of the road. Let's make it daylight. I actually heard Imperial Jedi had an interesting idea. So I know some people have said in the comments they will fall asleep to my videos. We're going to have to work on this because this is problematic. This is going to slow everything coming down into the town. Looks like it's backing up pretty good too. So we'll definitely have to come up with a better way to feed traffic off the highway for the industrial area. Because as it's filling up, it's building up more and more traffic through here. And then we're going to have an impact on this area, unfortunately. So we do have this Badger's Island Road that we didn't get connected, I realize. So maybe we'll connect these a little different. Something like that. Maybe we can connect up to there. And we'll get a couple of these filled in. Again, it doesn't have to be the most dense. The most dense area. You want to have a little fun with it, though. And maybe we can do something like this, just to kind of fill out these neighborhoods. A little bit of coastal property over here. And then how do we get this connected up? Maybe come up this way? Something like this. I'm just kind of filling in the space. Not really having any rhyme or reason. Just kind of letting the roads flow around the other roads, around the terrain. And then every once in a while down here we'll have a little neighborhood. Comes up off the road. But doesn't connect up over there. Let's paint in our commercial next. I'm going to pause it. And we're going to do a whole strip of commercial down here. And then we'll do commercial along that 4-lane road also. All right, so that's a decent amount of commercial. We'll probably end up doing more up this way and hooking it back in. But let's get some residential set up back here. I think what I'll do is this. I'm going to kind of paint the corners. So I don't have to get all the way too precise with the selection tool. And that'll make this a little bit quicker. So let's do that to start. We'll get some people moving in here, and then we've got to think about what's happening here. Because this is tragic what's happening on the highway. It's all the way back here. That's crazy. That's so crazy. So there's way too much industrial traffic over here that I'm trying to funnel off into that underground passage. So let's get a little smarter about how we do this. Well, okay. No, I take it back. Stop. First thing we need to do is we need to water this. I'm going to run this along the main road to start. Absolute slot pipes, so avert your eyes. Probably don't want to see this. Get to the point, though, where a nice grid for a loose town like this doesn't really matter. You just gotta make sure everything's covered. This whole truck traffic that's diverting through the area here. So that's interesting. It is diverting a lot of traffic, or a decent amount of traffic. Yeah, I know you don't have water. That's why I'm doing this. Alright, that should make everyone there happy. We'll run water down this main street for when we eventually expand. And let's get some basic services over here before everybody gets moved in. So, of course, we want a nice central fire station. First and foremost, we'll do police also. And we'll throw them right across the street. That should work. And then we'll do a couple smaller med clinics. Let's get in here before I forget, because I don't need a commercial business moving in right there. That's just ridiculous. Back to healthcare. Let's see where that's covering. It's a little light down here, but it will work just fine. And then we could do another one maybe up at this intersection. Not that anyone needs it yet, but so I don't forget. And we'll throw that on that side road so that we minimize our impact to any zoning. And then we haven't zoned that, so we're good there. And, of course, I didn't water up that way for the med clinic. So what do we do here? This is kind of tough, right? We could bypass this exit altogether. So what if this wasn't here? So that would prevent the traffic coming off the highway from the other direction from getting over here. But as you can see, most of the traffic is over this way. So what if we rerouted people? So, if we do a highway exit, where is it? That comes off this way. And we said, that's really not going to solve that much of the problem, is it? Because it's way back there. Let's rethink this. So what if we had the truck traffic getting off? Way back there. So all those trucks that are heading to the underground can get off way earlier. The people that are not, so hopefully cars will be getting off this way. But the zoning restriction that we did only applies to roads, not highways. So if we go into districts... Oh, it wasn't even district restriction, was it? It was a road restriction. I think I explained how you could do that with zoning restrictions on console. But since we don't have to worry about that... Vehicle restrictions? No. Vehicle restrictions? Vehicle restrictions. So we'll click on this one and we'll say no trucks. So those should actually despawn. Oh, they're just beelining over the road there. So anyone that's back here should start taking that route because they don't have a route as a truck to go this way. Apparently they're okay disregarding it if they were already on the road though. We'll see if that cleans up. They're also then bypassing this way since they're not allowed to use this middle stretch. It's that stretch right there that we're saying don't take trucks on. So hopefully they figured this out. It looks like they are because less and less traffic is actually exiting from the highway ramp up here. And that means that cars are going to be able to use that. It's not going to get all bottled up with traffic. Getting on seems to be moving okay. But we'll see if this fixes this snake of traffic happening all the way down here. Maybe what we could do is everybody's in that right lane waiting to get off the highway. We could increase this to a 4-lane there. Or maybe even just force them to recalculate right here. This might even do the trick. So if we take this down to a 2-lane highway right there, it might get people thinking that, oh, I need to move over sooner. But if they're already on the road, it doesn't always recalculate. But that turns this right lane only into an exit. And then the other 2 lanes become the straight lane. So that should get things moving, but honestly, highway is a whole different project. That's going to be multiple episodes. And maybe I can enlist somebody's help. Maybe I'll throw my cards on the table and ask somebody that's better than traffic to give me a little over-the-shoulder help and some recommendations. So things are still chugging really slow down here. We might want to look at a completely separate highway system to feed into the industrial area and make it its own autonomous island. We definitely can do some of that with the getting cargo in and out via the train. That helps out a lot. But we will have to kind of keep an eye on what's going on over here. Oh, you know what else we need over here? School. Let's do that for elementary coverage for now. It's got the capacity because of the collider. We'll do a high school in the same area. And that should cover mostly everybody over here. We'll clean up a bit of our zoning. So that people aren't living right on top of the schools. We'll do that, and then just for fun, fill that in a little bit. We'll wait till everybody moves in before we decorate your trees, because I think if there's a bunch of trees here and you build a road, let me explain this over here for a minute. So see all these trees over here? Let's build a road through there, or power lines, or whatever. Doesn't matter. See how that will clear? That'll clear trees. So if I draw through where all these trees are, it gets rid of those trees. If we delete the road, it remembers where the trees are. So I think I've made a mistake in that I filled in with trees first and then kind of paint the roads over, or I paint a bunch of trees down and then let houses move in. And I think the game remembers the state of those trees and it counts to our overall prop limit. So I'm going to try and not paint trees until everybody's moved in. So where this neighborhood is basically filled in, if I paint trees in here now, You know, what is there? There's a couple houses right there on the corner, maybe. But it's not doing anything to cause a problem with the overall prop limit. Got a ton of problems over here. Garbage being one of them. Okay. I meant to check on you, but you had a problem anyways, so... Why can I not get out of the road tool? Escape would generally get me out of the road tool. Was I not in the road tool? Was I in another tool? So what are these buildings complaining about, right? Not enough buyers for products. Not enough buyers for products. So we need to export goods better. Maybe we can connect this train up to one of the other outside lines. Maybe we can get more commercial businesses in the area that can receive the goods. And maybe we do let trucks through here to support the commercial businesses on that street. We'll see how they do, because right now they're complaining about not enough workers. Which, as people move into this area, will hopefully help sort itself out. But we'll let things kind of balance out. We'll let this area start to fill in more. We'll move some people even down over here towards the edge of the peninsula and over there. I do have another rail connection coming in. Is that the one that did we bring that one underground? We didn't, so we could kind of snake this one over to the other side of that area. Pretty good there. And we don't have to go over to our campus to continually do academic works, because if you remember, we have researched everything. So if you want to know anything, come over to PU, because apparently we've researched it. What do you want to know? We've researched it. So Kittery is underway. We'll do another quick build over here to do some malls and little shopping plazas and a couple neighborhoods in behind there. But then this corner of the map, at that point, is going to be 90% finished. It's all detail work. It's about bringing that train line into the other side. We've got to do some small communities over here, and over here in this clearing. And maybe we do something up on this side of the map, but I don't think so. I think it's okay to have some dead space. But if anything, it'll be some roads and some really small communities just to give it that look of something happening off in the background. But we are really coming along on this build. Sometimes it may feel like I'm just kind of cranking out an episode, but I've said it before, I'll say it again. You got to put paint on the canvas sometimes. You just gotta do it. And then see how it works and rebuild it and fix it if it's not quite right. We've got 8.2 million in the bank. That's a lot less, I think, than last time we recorded, because if you didn't notice, we had a considerable dip in money because I bought a bunch of tiles. And right now they are 217,000 a piece. But I figured we should buy them all, right? So let's dip into our money a little bit more before the end of the episode. And maybe buy them all, huh? 243,000 per. And now we've got all 81 tiles. There we go. So we can go all the way into the corners of the map now. This is all ocean. But now we can really kind of get off to the edges and see what's happening, like people spawning in as pedestrians to then spawn cars. It looks like trucks spawn as trucks, but passenger cars spawn as people, which decide to walk a couple hundred yards on the highway before becoming a car, which is not the safest thing. So we'll pretend like we don't see this over here. Follow our highway up. Did that make any improvements? It did not. So we've really got to come up with a different system for delivering traffic. This is a lot of industry. This is as much industry as we have probably over here. It's probably more than we have over here. And we have the own completely dedicated highway exit, highway system, feeding everything around. So this is just destroying traffic in the area. What we could do just for fun is maybe drop in a couple more factories and tie up some of this island that way, and then just have trucks come in and bring in the goods that we'd otherwise be producing. So we're bringing in metals, glass, plastics, and planned timber, and that is giving us production rate on our ships. Let's throw up to 150% and make some good. Not operating. Not enough special goods. Storage 0. Storage 0. Storage 0. What's going on over here? Let's set them to fill. I didn't even realize that. That basically orders goods from off map if it's not something, or it's supposed to, if it's not something you're making on map. And that's how I got the oil industry really kicking in Wood Garden. So we'll check that and see if that's working, because we need those to feed into here to increase production costs or production results and make more money off the backs of industry, off the backs of the worker. Portsmouth is now a communist settlement. Lots of worker problems over here. Hopefully that will sort itself out as people, more people move into this area. You can see they like to move in next to other people, so they'll start slowly filling in all the way down to the shoreline here. We do have this cut through for Badger's Island, so we'll see. We'll see if we need to turn off truck traffic there, depending on how much people divert through there. It looks like the preferable route for most of them is the highway. But again, we need to come up with something, because this is not doing the trick. We need highway all the way under there. Maybe we can have a highway exit right here next to this other highway exit. This one can feed into residential, and this other one can feed into the underground. We already have businesses abandoning over here. I think I said abandoning over here. So we'll keep an eye on that. This is problematic at best, and this is definitely a future project for one of the next couple episodes. We'll try and get traffic into here a little bit smoother. We'll keep building this out, and then we'll work on a little mall outlet area over here for the main shoppers. And then it really doesn't matter kind of if roads just kind of trail off near the end of the... Come on, lag. If roads kind of trail off near the end of the map, like this doesn't have an outside connection because we're out of outside connections. We can't do anymore. Uh-oh. I just realized our pop-ups. 2,242 water-related. A lot of power-related pop-ups. What? Oh, no. Let's look at our economy and budget panel for a minute. We're at 100% on electricity. I have a feeling we had a plant burn down. Because how are we that far into the... Oh. This creates a weird problem here. So let's see if we can get this working, because I don't know if we can. Nuclear power plant. We'll add a third just for fun. I don't think it's going to work, though, because it doesn't have water, which makes the plants not work, which means that we can't power the water to get the plants to work. Right? Does it say not operating? Not enough water. Not enough water. Okay. So we need to get power to the water to get the power plants working. So, this is water outlets. That is a sewage treatment plant that we haven't turned on. And then this is our water intakes right here. So let's power them temporarily. We'll do that. Let's see if that's enough to power all our water plants. Hopefully it is. Which in turn will provide water, which will in turn let our sewage treatment plants, or our power plants work, which will then produce more power. So, something to consider. That has happened to me before, because we troubleshooted that pretty quick. Is if your water especially is out in the edge of the grid like this, and you run out of power, you stop powering your water, which can break your power plants and create this weird loop. Weird closed loop of problems. So power-wise, where are we at now power-wise? We were like just on the red. which as soon as it stopped powering the water plants, stopped powering the power plants. Okay, so anyways, I think today was a mess of an episode. Not the most productive, but hopefully you enjoyed nonetheless. We've got so many projects to work on, problems like this to fix. This will start to sort itself out as more people move in here. But it's a constant ebb and flow at this point, and we've got to address some of the issues like this, because this is just so problematic. Does all this boil down to traffic being slow here? Like, do we need to roundabout this? Maybe? Maybe we roundabout this? Maybe I do this real quick before the end of the episode? Let's just make plenty of room. I'm going to leave that because there's a subway station right there. So let's try and do a little roundabout here. We'll do highway. 2-lane. And curved. Right on the center of this road here that we're going to connect to it. I'm not going to be able to do that, am I? So let's do a 5. 5, 6. Do something like that. Is it not quite round? It's okay. We'll make do, and then we can connect this up to make things flow a little speedier through here with the highway ramps like that. And like that. Probably should have done this to begin with. These are a little close. Let's throw this way over here. We'll curve this in after. Whatever, we'll curve it in after. The wonders of Move It. So we'll do something like that. Let's come in here and make a little bit less of a mess of it. We'll turn off Anarchy. We'll turn on Move It. Try and get these overlapping a little bit less. This one's particularly messy. So we'll do something like that. No, undo. This is awful. And then we'll clean this one up just a bit. It's still a little slop. I mean, we'll come back and fix this, but let's fix our directions now. So get out of Move It, get into roads, directions, Anarchy, reverse. Reverse that one. Okay, and then since we're here, traffic on the roundabout gets priority. Don't need to do it there. No, I don't need to do it there either. I need to do it where they're entering. So we'll say yield there. No, I don't need to do that one either. It's here where they're entering. So yield to the people that are getting on. Or yield to the people that are already on. I'm sorry, I should say. Okay, let's let this play 3 times speed. See if we made a mess. We definitely made a crooked roundabout. But the question is does this help traffic get off the highway any better. Hopefully it does. We can do little tricks like this too to change lane calculation, which is this little segment right here does not need to be a 2-lane. 1 lane's fine for that. And that kind of forces them to recalculate the lane that they're in. It's buying us a little bit of time to get over here. I feel like I need to do something very different with the traffic here. This was purely an aesthetic build. Not that it's that great aesthetically, but it wasn't a functional build. And that's true for a lot of Portsmouth. Like, there's sloppy diamond interchanges over here that we still haven't got rid of. And those are a thing in Portsmouth, but I've slowly been adapting those into trumpets and turbines and more efficient things. So we'll see if this helps move things along better. It doesn't look like it's going to solve our problems, but it's always fun to try. Here, that's better. Fixed. We'll color around the entranceway there. Good enough. We'll call it a day. There's still so much to do. I want to snap in these little projects, and sometimes I feel like they're going to be quick hit videos, and other times they turn into ones like this, where we do a lot of stuff, but not necessarily the most groundbreaking, not the most impactful on the city. We'll try and kind of mix and match in every week going forward, because I want to continue with this build for a little bit. We're getting close. We're getting close to the build being complete, and then going in and detailing it. And I know some creators kind of do that along the way. It's not my thing. I want to build the city. I want to let it live and breathe and be bad and have its spots of trouble, and then kind of figure out how to fix it. And I think that's half the fun of the game, right? Is solving some of the problems. If you don't like solving traffic problems, this is probably not the right game for you, but you probably figured that out by now. Hopefully you enjoyed today's episode. Again, it was a little weird. We've got so many projects, so much stuff to bite off. Sometimes I get a little distracted, as you know, but sometimes that's half the fun. So stay tuned. Check out the Discord for updates. If you're not over there, come join us. Great community of fans of the channel and fans of cities. We talk about all other kinds of games too. And one of those games that I've been talking about a lot is the Outer Worlds. Going to try and do a live stream. It's looking like next Friday or Saturday. Then keep an eye on the Discord for updates on that. It'll probably be, again, next Friday or Saturday is what it's looking like for the first episode at least. Again, hopefully you enjoyed today's video. Stay tuned Monday, Wednesdays, and Fridays for updates in cities. There'll be lots of new content coming, but we're going to continue with the Portsmouth build for the short term. Every like, comment, and share helps the channel a lot and is greatly appreciated. If you're new here, subscribe for more and consider hitting that bell to get notifications. Follow me on Twitter and join the Discord, links in the description down below. Thanks to all the patrons and channel members. If you'd like to support the channel, again, links are down below in the description. But until the next one, this is Move the Mouse, signing off.